An explosion at the U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works in Clairton, Pennsylvania happened today, killing at least one person, injuring 10 others, and one person is still missing. It took place today, August 11th, at approximately 10:50 a.m. A construction worker described feeling the explosion like thunder, seeing a dark smoke. Of course, the cause is under investigation. U.S. Steel stated that the plant is stable except for two structures. Search and rescue operations are ongoing. Let's look at the astrology real quick. The state of Pennsylvania is on the left, and the explosion is on the right. And what I can tell immediately is that the lunar nodes of fate were at a 19 degree and 42 minute. The south node at a 1942 is in Virgo in the 12th house, and the north node is in Pisces in the 6th house of health. So we're talking about hospitals and endings at this 1942, which is exactly where the second house of values are. They're in Gemini. So it's something to do with the electrical. The second house is ruled by Venus. And so we look to Venus to see what, if anything, we can tell. And of course, we see that Venus is in Capricorn in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money. It's ruled by Sag. So we have to take the fire energy with the Capricorn, which is the business, and then the value of the business, the money that will be lost. That's at a 4 degree and 26 minute. This explosion happened around 10:50 a.m., but by midday, by noon, Vulcanus in Leo transits to that 426 degree and makes contact with that Venus. Vulcanus in Leo is going to be at that 426 degree with Venus for the next 24 hours. It's a collective type of transitory energy. And there's going to be some things that we learn because Selena at a 2929 in Cancer is coming to the 4th house of home, Uranus in Cancer degree. So by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a shakeup. There's a shakeup with the electrical that they are learning about. Something having to do with the electrical. And I could be wrong, but the fact is that there is a fate with the Gemini energy. And then we are learning about something having to do with groups. And Uranus is also an electromagnetic type of energy. If we are thinking about what could have taken place with the plant and why it exploded. Venus and Jupiter in Cancer are also conjunct, sitting in that 3rd house of Pennsylvania. So the Gemini energy again with the expansion of electrical is possible. The North Node was conjunct the moon that is sitting there in the 11th house of how Pennsylvania brings in money with groups. Pisces is also about hospitals, endings, loss. And at the time, the moon was fated with the sun in Leo at a 1911, and that Leo sun is shining in the 4th house of home with Pennsylvania. So there was a fate with hospitals and home. The moon in the 11th house during this explosion in Pisces was squaring Hygeia, the health in Gemini. So Hygeia with the health of Gemini is there in that 2nd house of values. And Hygeia is coming to that south node of fate. When Hygeia comes to that south node and just sits there for about an hour, that is when I think we are really going to learn a lot more about what took place and what happened, how it happened, But the degrees in our chart literally matter in the state of matter. Just because the lunar nodes of fate were not in Gemini at that 1942 does not mean that it did not express itself. We see that it expressed itself in more ways than one, because the Venus at a 426 came into the public eye when Vulcanus and Leo changed degrees from 425 to 426. And Leo is a fiery energy. The other things that I see is Venus at a 1320 in Cancer in that 10th house is the same exact degree as Pennsylvania's magnetism with Zeus in the 12th house. Again, this is about hospitals. This is about hospitals because it's in the 12th house. The explosion is rising at a 1018 degree in Libra. That 1018 is also found in the Pennsylvania chart with Chiron in the first house with the life path of Pennsylvania. So I hope you learned that the degrees in our chart literally matter. It does not matter if they are in the same sign. When they cross over that degree, there is an expression that has taken place. I see it time and time again. Please like, subscribe, and follow, all that good jazzy junk. And until next time, peace out.